Just wanted to have a quick show tonight, talk about some topics from over the weekend and some stuff that came out today. I'm going to try to keep it at least an hour under. It's been a long day, very tired, but I wanted to talk to you guys and just kind of, have a chat. So, hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you had a good Monday. I know Mondays can be a little rough because we all know that's my favorite day of the week. I moved to a new office today, I should say. Finally, and of course, nothing went right the whole entire time that I was at the location. Working off of a new system right now. It's a temporary thing for the next few months. It's not the best, not the worst. It gets me to stream live, so that's great. So just bear with me. Working off a laptop instead of a full-blown computer here. So some of it might be a little sketchy, but overall it should work, and we should still be able to do our Whiskey and Cannolis podcast, episode 7 this weekend. And trying to figure out what to talk about there, but there's going to be plenty. So, to get things started off, I wanted to just go ahead and talk about some subjects that came up over the weekend and to my attention from other people today. One of the things that came up today, and I wanted to talk about this because this has to go into kind of some of the topics we get into, equality and misogyny and the patriarchy and all this stuff that we usually chat about. So today an article came out. I want to share this, so bear with me here. It's going to be a little slower than it normally is, but so there's an article that came out from Bryce Dallas Howard today, from talking about her time making the Jurassic World movie. Hold on, there we go. Making the Jurassic World movie. Sorry, I know this is really just there we go. She said she was at a great disadvantage because she discussed about how she got paid so much less than Chris Pratt for her work in Jurassic World. So I wanted to go into this. So it says Jurassic World star Bryce Dallas Howard recently reflected on how she was paid so much less than her A-list co-star Chris Pratt for this project. While original reports said Howard was paid $8 million for Jurassic Park World Domination compared to Pratt's $10 million, 41-year-old actress insists the pay gap was actually larger. Well, then you read a little more into it. You go and do a little research, some digging. Chris Pratt actually fought to get her higher pay for the movie, so he actually raised her pay. And then it kind of just goes into a whole thing here, how it's a different world now, and how it's a sexist thing. And Howard recalled talking about her pay gap concerns with Pratt at the time, and claims the actor negotiated on her behalf. So he actually negotiated on Howard's behalf to get her higher pay, and he did. Basically talking about how we have to move the needle up on these sorts of things, and we should get paid the same, and you shouldn't have to think about it, and so on and so on. And it kind of also goes into an interview that Scarlett Johansson did back in 2021 for her movie Black Widow. How, she said, women are undermined and underserved and underappreciated and underpaid and blah, blah, blah. Well, I think she's made $20 million in a movie, making movies before recently. So that's pretty interesting. And it even says here, despite being the highest paid actress in the industry, Johansson had some strong words about the perceived pay gap. Equal pay is a huge part of the fight. You look at this, and even here, Johansson had words about there was always these little key terms like bankability and box office draw. Those are all terms that are basically masquerading as sexism. Okay. This is coming from someone who made $20 million in a movie before. So, but that's sexist. It's a systematic issue. It's all you hear about is systematic issues, systematic racism, systematic sexism. Thank you, Tim. Tim once said I would pay you whatever you wanted for you to be in my home movie. You know what, Tim? I believe you. And depending on what that rate was, I might take you up on that. But anyway, it's like, you hear about this systematic stuff, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist in some forms. Of course, I'm not crazy. I know these things exist. But here's my point. Now, Chris Pratt's a movie star. Okay? I don't think he's a great actor by any stretch, but he's a movie star. You're seeing the movie because of the dinosaurs, though, in this case. Nobody cares about your side character. People want to see dinosaurs tear shit apart, eat people, and chase people around. Now, the movie, from what I understand, I haven't seen it, it stinks. I don't know that for sure. I didn't like the last one, and I didn't like the one before, Jurassic World, and then there was Jurassic, I don't know, something where a volcano explodes, and then now they're all of a sudden in this one, Dominion, they're living with people in the mountains and snow, and they're skiing. I don't know. This is fucking ridiculous now with this movie. Jurassic Park franchise needs to go away. But Chris Pratt's a bigger star than Bryce Dallas Howard. If Bryce Dallas Howard wasn't in this movie, it would still succeed. And that goes for Chris Pratt too. You probably put anybody in that role, it's going to succeed. But he is bankable. He is a bankable star. And this is the same thing with Scarlett Johansson. Now, maybe in the past, people went to see Scarlett Johansson's movies for her. We know why men went to see her. And, you know, whatever. Maybe women went to support her, maybe because her movies were actually decent. Because today's movie stars, there are no movie stars anymore. After Tom Cruise, there's nobody else. People go to see characters in these movies. They're not going to see movie stars. People want to see Black Widow. People want to see Captain America. People want to see Thor. So while you attribute or correlate the character of Chris Hemsworth as Thor and Chris Evans as Captain America and Scarlett Johansson, yes, Tony Stark, which I think Tony Stark with Robert Downey Jr., which was a great casting. The casting was all good, done well, but nobody's going to see these movies for the actual actors. Those days are long gone. Those days are long gone. I mean, okay, so people want to see Chris Pratt. Okay. I mean, I listen, I like Chris Pratt. And after The Terminal List, I like him even more. Okay, so people you want to see him. Again, I think Tom Cruise is the last star that people are like, oh, he's in a movie, I got to go see it. That just, you know, Top Gun. Top Gun Maverick had the sequel thing, the nostalgia that helped it, but his movies you generally, for the most part, do well. What was Mike D saying here? What was the T-Rex paid? That's real. Yeah. What was the T-Rex paid? It was paid in body parts and human flesh, or, you know, knowing how woke Hollywood is today, you know, who knows? It was probably sexism, though. If it was a female T-Rex, it was sexism, or T-Rex is asexual. I don't know how that works. Yeah, what does the T-Rex identify as? It's a he, they, she, may. Gee, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. I can't take it. But this is my point. Like, this goes back to a long list of in the past few years I've heard about this. Well, women equal pay. It's the same with the female soccer team compared to the men's soccer team, and the female soccer team even got what they wanted. They still complained. But here's the bottom line. If you're not drawing people to the theaters to see you off of your name alone, or yes, the franchise is going to bring people in. People still like these Jurassic Park movies. I don't know why, but they like them. If you're not drawing people in, why should you get more pay? That's like saying the highest paid WNBA player should make as much as LeBron James. It's the stupidest argument you can make. You can call me a sexist. You know I'm right. But that's where you're going to go with the name calling. That's where everybody goes with this stuff. Name calling, racism, you're misogynist. No, and WNBA is trash. People know it's trash. Now, if you like the sport, fine. I'm not going to knock you for liking it or following it or rooting for a team. Do not sit there with a straight face and tell me WNBA players should be paid as much as NBA players. NBA has been bankrolling the WNBA for years. They're losing money on it, but they're never going to get rid of it. And we know why they'll never get rid of it. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I like this, Tim. The 15-year-old boys, I think it was a high school team, beat the women's national team. Now, yeah, you could say it was a practice. It was a scrimmage. The women didn't take it seriously. They kicked their ass. The boys kicked their ass. And listen, these women on the soccer team run circles around me, but I'm not that here puffing my chest up going, oh, I'm better than you. I'm not stupid like that. So I wanted to first bring this up, because it's always just reverting back to this, oh, it's misogynist. It's a systematic issue. No, nobody cares about seeing Bryce Dallas Howard in a movie. You're not bankable. The studio's not going to make money off you. They're going to make money off characters. That's how it is. Batman. Maybe if they made a decent Superman movie. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. Make a damn good movie with him. characters drive profits, not actors anymore. It's over. Those days are gone. Listen, I used to love Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, my favorite actors of all time, even though De Niro's a liberal idiot these days. I loved watching movies with those two. I actually sought them out. Denzel Washington. These are guys that you used to go, okay, Tom Hanks, maybe if you want to put him in there. These are guys you would go see just to see them. Those days are long gone. They even know it. That's why a lot of these Hollywood actors, the older ones, move to TV shows, TV series. Jeff Bridges has got a TV series on FX doing great called Old Man or The Old Man. It's doing great. You got to kind of keep that in your mind as you get older in this industry. Just come to the realization nobody wants to see you. So here we go again. Now, if she wants to say she felt underpaid, okay, that's her opinion. Chris Pratt should make more money than Bryce Dallas Howard. He's a nice guy, and he stood up for her. Said that she deserves more, so he got her a little more. No, he's a great guy and all, but I should still make her just as much as him. Why? Who are you? What have you done in your past to justify that? Have you won an Academy Award? Have you been nominated for an Academy Award? Were you in movies that were super, super profitable just because you were in the movie? No, you weren't. You weren't. So it's just the old diatribe, man. You just hear it in your head constantly. When is enough with this garbage? I don't even have anything against Bryce Dallas Howard, but listen, there's a lot going on in the entertainment industry. That's why I wanted to do this today. Like I said, I'm probably going to keep it at an hour, maybe a little under, because I'm a little sleepy. But I had to talk about this first, because this is insanity. I'm just tired of it. I mean, you look through the art, it's just, and Scarlett Johansson talking about all of a sudden she came out about sexism. And it's like, despite being the highest paid actress in the industry. Okay, so what are you, blazing a trail for what? For what? Your movie Black Widow was garbage. Didn't even profit. Now you could say, oh, COVID, the pandemic. No, your movie stunk. They made it as a pity movie. Should have been made years ago before the Avengers. They gave you a little, there you go, little gift, parting gift for dying in the Avengers movie. You still got your $20 million or whatever. Like, what's the problem? How is that sexism? Sexism would be telling you you're trash and you're not getting anything. Or such an underpayment that it's embarrassing or degrading. She's doing fine. She can buy and sell me. I'll tell you that much. So I just don't know when this ends. It's never going to end. It's never going to end because you got whatever. I wanted to get into this next story because this is the big one of the day. Everybody knows about this Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power show that's coming out on Amazon. So initially, I've talked about this before. When Amazon announced this, I was excited because I love Lord of the Rings. I love the original trilogy. I did not love the Hobbit movies. I liked them. I didn't love them. I didn't think they were great. Sorry, I keep moving my mic. Lord of the Rings show, and at the time I wasn't really paying attention to Amazon and all their bullshit that they've done to their TV shows with all the inclusion and inclusivity and we all got to be one, make it for modern times bullshit. So as the trailers have come out for this Rings of Power show, as the advertisements, it's been one shit show after another. It's getting ratioed to hell, disliked to hell. I think the original trailer has like over 2 million dislikes or maybe, something like that. It's insane. So they're getting a lot of backlash. The characters look stupid for the most part. The CGI looks terrible. The writing, the dialogue is terrible from the trailers we've seen. And then one of the actresses, who's a black female, who has to constantly remind you she's the first black female dwarf in the history of the Lord of the Rings, which is a lie. Or at least the female part of it. She's not even in the show that much, from what I understand. And she had so basically there's been a lot of backlash, So the last 2 weeks it's been nonstop with her advertising. Oh, it's about to balance and blah blah blah. I'm a black dwarf. And that's such a stupid accent. It made me sick to my stomach. It made everybody sick to their stomach. So then comes out today, Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Mordief Clark, admits show is a perversion of Tolkien's work, tells critics to shut the F up. She plays Galadriel in the upcoming Lord of the Rings. And if people don't know Lord of the Rings, the lore, Galadriel's the one that, oh God, I can't think of her name right now again. Very famous actress. I can't think of her name. Somebody look up who Galadriel was in Lord of the Rings, please. Anyway, they basically took this character and changed her entire past. They wrecked everything about it to fit this narrative for the show. Because J.R.R. Tolkien wrote The Hobbit short story and he wrote the Lord of the Rings books, great books. They basically took his work and made a mockery of it. They changed everything on purpose. They gave Galadriel a backstory. She's a badass warrior and she's jumping on, killing trolls, jumping off swords, and it looks ridiculous. So here we go. She plays Galadriel. Admitted the show is a perversion of J.R.R. Tolkien's work. And she then followed up by telling the critics. So she's basically telling the fans that you're wrong. You're stupid. You don't know better. This is what the people who are running this show have been telling people. Fans are dumb. We don't care about the fans. Who cares about the fans? We're talking about what we think this show should represent in modern times, not what J.R.R. Tolkien says. Okay. So, thanks, Abomination AJ. I see you in the chat. Thanks for hooking. I knew you would like this what I'm doing right now, talking about this. Abomination AJ. If anybody's listening, please follow him on Twitter. I think it's at Abomination AJ, and then on YouTube, Abomination AJ. The guy's a great artist. He's funny. He's witty. He's a good dude. He's supportive. I appreciate him a lot. We've been chatting a little bit recently. He's a very good guy, very open. He was helping me out with some YouTube stuff, some questions I had. I really appreciate him. So I want you to, if you can, follow him. His partner's really good too. They have a great podcast kind of thing too. He's got good videos. Awesome artist. He's very successful. He's gonna be very successful. He's a very talented man. Appreciate you, man. Anyway, so we're going into this. Clark admitted the show is a perversion. Sorry, my computer. Tell the Time magazine outlet, I didn't read the books and think, I wish there were more female characters, because I just took it as it's given. And that's the way the things work. That's the way it should be. Okay, so she took that back then. That was okay. However, see, there's always this. She goes, I read the books and I didn't really think about more female characters or adding whatever. I just took it as is. And there's always the caveat. However, as I'm getting a Whopper commercial coming on my screen here. However, I'm standing on the shoulders of women who spilt metaphorical blood to get to this point. I hope young people, should they watch this, will think this is just the way things are. No. Metaphorical blood, you're not a hero. You're an actress. Now, listen, I have no problem with women being in movies and shows and TV, whatever. Series, it's fine. And if little girls look up to strong women, fine. Not the way you're doing it, though. They're making it out to be like they're revolutionizing TV. It's not a revolution. And there's always that, however. I hate that. However. Yeah, you're going to make young people watch this crap, which I hope they don't. I hope their parents who watch The Lord of the Rings are telling their kids, no, this is garbage. Don't watch this. Because this is going to be bad. I don't want to give this show any of my attention and time, but I almost want to watch it just to make content, get views at this point. So I'm sorry. And then it goes more, into the Tolkien books and even the original movies got a lot of backlash over the years about not having enough minorities and gay people and lesbian. What does that have to do with the story? Here's my question. Were the books good? Were the movies good the way they were? Classics. Standing the test of time. Why do we need to update this? For what? It's got a global audience. It always had a global audience. What is this bullshit I hear about? Oh, we have to bring in the global. I want to see myself on there on the screen so I can. Oh my God. This just happened recently with The Little Mermaid. They're making a live action Little Mermaid movie with, of course, a black lead. And she said, well, when I grew up, I wanted to be a princess. Now I am. And I could see myself. It's like, okay, listen, she might be a good actress. She might be talented. If it doesn't fit the role, white, black, green, blue, I'm Italian. I'm an Italian man. Italian people are always made to look stupid and dumb in movies and TV shows, for the most part. Joey from Friends was a retard. I'm sorry, he was dumb. Mafia movies, always made to look like Neanderthals. Some of them might have been, sure. But I do not take offense to it. The Sopranos, one of the most popular shows ever written. People would come to me when I was a little younger, when the show was on. It was on a while ago. Hey, was that what your family was like? And I'd play along. Yeah, of course. We'd pick up garbage and kill people. It was fun. They were almost ignorant about it, but it was playful. It was funny. I have all my friends that I talk to now. We joke with each other. Irish, Filipino, Mexicans. That's what I love about Geeks and Gamers. They have this tight-knit group of everybody's different. They all think differently, but they get along so well. That's why I love them and follow them and support them. Yeah, I never saw myself in The Little Mermaid. I never got hurt. She's my wife's favorite Disney princess. This looks nothing like her. She's not redhead. She doesn't have a fin. She doesn't have shells over her boobs. She doesn't live in the ocean. Still love the movie. But we got to go into this thing now where we're just pushing this. Oh, I got to see myself. No, I don't look like Thor. I'll never look like Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I don't take offense to it. I can't see myself. I'm not all muscled out and whatever. I don't look like a Greek god. So you know what? I'm not going to watch this movie. This movie's stupid. It's stupid. I want to see myself on that screen. No. First of all, if anybody saw me the way they saw Thor, it wouldn't make any money and people would be throwing up in their seats. But that's just me. So anyway, sorry, get back to the Lord of the Rings show. In fact, Tolkien elaborated on his thought process about not including female orcs in a letter to Mrs. Mumby. He wrote, there must have been orc women, but in stories that seldom, if ever, see the orcs except as soldiers of armies in the service of the evil lords, we naturally would not learn much about their lives. So he figured it just wasn't necessary. That's the bottom line. What does Tolkien know, though? He only wrote some of the best books ever written. But, hey, these showrunners on Amazon know better than him, right? Yeah, okay. And there were, that's another thing. The original Lord of the Rings trilogy had amazing female characters. Like, I don't understand. Galadriel was awesome. Eowyn, amazing. Arwen, Rosie. Like, look at these names on here. Here, let's show this. Look at some of these names on here. Amazing female strong characters, and where no backlash. I didn't care they were in the movie because they fit the storyline and they were written as such to fit in the storyline to the way Tolkien wanted it, the way Jackson portrayed it. Because Jackson came out and said in an interview, we didn't want to put our politics into the movie. We wanted to keep it Tolkien. And guess what? Some of the 3 best movies possibly ever made. Funny how that works. Bobby Nation AJ says, I was Nightcrawler growing up. I'm not blue or German. See my point? Hey, listen, great point, Abomination AJ. And you're right. You can see it. You can wish to be other characters. Nightcrawler was awesome. It's okay to see to say, that would be cool to be like that person, but not to knock it because you're not that person. Not to just rip the whole franchise apart and do your own. And then again, this is why the Rippaverse is so successful and will be successful. That's why Eric July is going to be a billionaire someday. He knew this was happening. He saw this happening in the comic book industry and in the entertainment industry and did something about it. Put in the damn work, and the dude's killing it. And he's writing characters. And here's the thing. Ryan Kindle had a great RK Outpost had a great show yesterday on his individual stream. And he said it best. It's not that we want to make it anti-woke. We just don't want it to be politically driven. That's why it's not an anti-woke, because with anti-woke, you can go the opposite way. You want to make it where there's no political division, no political anything in these movies, no the term woke, not putting your identity politics into it, just making good stories. That's all we want. So I'm not saying here that the anti-woke movement is good either, because if you do it that way, then you're just doing the same thing that the woke people are doing. You want to make it just nothing in there, just good storytelling. That's why I love what the Daily Wire is doing. They even said, yeah, we're conservatives. We're not putting any of our ideals into the movies we're doing. Look at the movies they've done. Nothing about them is screaming conservative, Trump waving flags, and liberals suck. No, they don't do any of that. Good storytelling doesn't need all this bullshit. So Lord of the Rings had amazing, and then it gets better with the Lord of the Rings. Hold on, it gets better. Of course, Clark now rejects this idea in favor of perverting and altering Tolkien's work through primary. Yeah, okay. I hope. Yeah, she said this already. I hope young people. It's just stupid. Like, people are gonna go, oh wow, there's black dwarves and women were so strong, and they're gonna, But so what you're doing is you're tricking people and lying to them. Is what you're doing. You're sabotaging young people's minds to fit your narrative. It's what else do you call? There's a word for it that I can't say because I'll get kicked off of YouTube, off the stream. But we know what that means. You want to mold these young minds into the way you want to think, so you can control them and have power. It's all this is. People don't want free minds. So then we get into this. Clark posted to her Instagram stories, anyone sending hate to my black castmates, get off my page, get off the internet, and shut up. Okay. Sticking up for your castmates? Okay, fine. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that there is not hate speech or hate going towards these characters. I'm not naive enough to think, there's nobody who's being racist. Sure, you got some stupid people in the world. We know that, right? But that doesn't mean that everything is just filled with vitriol hate and is attacking her because she's black. No. Here's the difference. You can attack something without being a racist misogynist. Oh my God, is that true? No, I didn't just say that. Yes, it's true. Let me ask you a question. I'm a big Godfather fan. If they replace the Godfather with an Asian man as Michael Corleone, would that not be just the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen? Even if you've never seen the Godfather, everybody knows who it is. What it is. I wouldn't get offended. I'd probably be a little angry about it, only because it's not necessary. It doesn't fit the story. It makes no sense. And if people attacked the idea, it's not because they're anti-Asian. Hashtag stop Asian hate, right? No. It's because it just doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It doesn't fit the story. Same as this. And then it goes on. She then shared a short video of her castmate, Charles Edwards' Celembrar, I hope I said that right, making a hand motion that reveals the phrase, shut the up. Captioned it. So basically they're doing what the Star Wars did with their stuff recently. Telling fans, shut up. Shut up. You're all stupid. You're racist. Shut up. Let us make our show. You're all dumb. Attacking a fan base. So here's the difference, like I said on one of my own videos last week. Lord of the Rings fan base is a hardcore fan base. This is not Marvel. This is not Star Wars. Yes, those have major hardcore fan bases. The Lord of the Rings fan base is not sitting down taking this. They're not going to take this. So, of course, after seeing this, the Lord of the Rings fan base went entirely batshit crazy. And here we go. My boy, YouTuber Ryan Kindle reacted to Clark's Instagram post saying, now, what does that mean? Does that mean hate because they're black, or does it mean people criticizing the show? Does it mean people criticizing the characters? What exactly does that mean? Your guess is as good as mine. Go watch Ryan Kindle's on RK Outpost's video on this. Fantastic. Guy's awesome. Probably the most hated man on the internet, but I love him. Yeah, and even goes on here. Kindle says she did something else, which I think does set up for what we're going to see in the future. There you go. Who made this? Shut the F up. You know, the trailer that everyone was making fun of. I think there's a message in there for Lord of the Rings fans. Yes, there is. It's a little hidden, deep thing. Telling fans to go F themselves. Why? Because you don't like, oh, you're racist because you don't like the characters that we have. You're misogynist because no. Because it doesn't make any sense. You're taking lore from an established legacy character or characters off a beautiful story that was made, and you're completely changing it for your own narrative. You're writing in your own ideals. What you see as a Tolkien work. That's all I hear from these showrunners. Oh, we see this as what Tolkien. No, you don't see shit. Tolkien would not have stood up, taken this lightly. Even if he did agree with some of this stuff, he probably would have left it out or told you to left it out. I mean, you already ghosted Peter Jackson. Oh, we'll promise you, Peter. We'll show you some footage. No, you just ghosted the dude. And Peter Jackson probably is like, yeah, you know what? Good for you guys. No, even I doubt that. Peter Jackson might have applauded them behind the scenes. He didn't want to put his own identity politics into the movies, and I doubt he would have accepted this. And Ryan Kindle's right. It's only a matter of time. This was only a matter of time before they just went nuts and were angry. And just now, here's the thing with this show. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen anything pushback like this. I think this show will be popular in the beginning. And I think fans are going to just kind of destroy it after, especially the hardcore fans. And then I think with this, you have House of Dragons coming out with Game of Thrones. That's a whole nother shit show with their identity politics. I think that show will be more successful, though, because it's got the HBO. It's on Sunday nights like Game of Thrones was. It's going to bring people back to that world, even though I think it's gone a little too woke. I don't see this Lord of the Rings show doing well. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't know, man. Is it me? Am I just crazy? Does anybody else actually see this? What's going on? I don't know. Even if the people who are listening to this right now are not going to watch this show, that's all I've seen on Twitter all weekend. I think even Abomination AJ, my boy here, he's been constantly tweeting about, which is great stuff. He's been tweeting about characters and different races. It's like, who gives a shit in the end, man? He's right. He's saying it. He just said it here. I was a Nightcrawler fan growing up. He's not blue or German. Okay. You can still love the character. I loved Blade. Loved Blade. The first movie, even with Wesley Snipes. Great movie. I loved it. Okay. I'm not a black vampire killer. Love the movie. I can like the movie if I want. So when is this kind of like I'm really we're coming close to it soon where this show is going to be out. I cannot wait to see the people's reactions. All the people that I love on YouTube and follow, Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy, Ryan, all of them. Another one, was it George the Giant Slayer? Amazing videos. Disparu. All these guys, they're going to make millions of dollars off this. I swear to God, I wish I was being monetized because I would just constantly make videos about this stuff because it's just sickening. I'm tired of it. You got actresses complaining about not making enough money, even though they're not bankable stars. You got Lord of the Rings actresses coming out telling the Lord of the Ring fan base to go F themselves. What the hell is going on? These people will never learn. Or if they do, it's going to be too late for them. I'm just tired of it. I'm just not understanding. I'm not understanding. So anyway, I'm done with that rant for now. I want to get on another rant here about this Pfizer CEO, Albert Borla. I'm going to share this real quick. Yeah, Abomination AJ, you're right, man. I'm gonna highlight this because this is true. Those people are the real racists, true racists. I want our own shit. I didn't see Gods of Egypt because of the whitewashing of culture. It goes both ways. There you go. He's right. He's right. Those people are the true racists because they claim to be. We had a great Abomination AJ put out a great tweet about how the libs, the woke people, are the ones who claim to be the high and mighty moral ground people, but they're not. And they claim to be, but they're not, because they'll attack you and destroy you. It was a great conversation about being spiritual and believing in God, and how Christians are looked at as the bad people because they're judgmental, which is not true all the time. And how the woke people on the left, the liberals, are more of the, hey, we're accepting, and then if you don't agree with them, though, that's it, fire and brimstone, damnation, hell, and I mean destroy you. Your career, your life is over. Whereas God will destroy your life. I'm sorry, he won't destroy your life. He'll bring you down to lift you up, but he's always there. And it actually has a meaning for you to grow as a person, spiritually, mentally, to help others. Liberals claim they have this same belief, but they don't. They don't preach it. It's exactly so. Abomination AJ is right. The people who are doing this stuff, who are saying you're racist because no, you're the true racist. Deep down. I've been saying this for years, how the Democratic Party has been, and I'm not saying the conservatives are great, but the Democratic Party is basically just telling a certain population what they want to hear, keeping them down. They need votes in specific communities, so they tell people what they need to hear and how to vote. Some, unfortunately, stick to the plan. Some don't. And when the ones that don't pull away and take the red pill, get red pilled, they're, listen, Eric July Ripa, my boy, got called a white supremacist recently because of his he's a libertarian. He just said, I want to make a comic book that's not woke. No politics. Oh, you're a white supremacist because you're what are you talking about? A white supremacist is a black man. That's a new one for me. I don't know. When is enough with this shit? Lord of the Rings of Power. Anyway, I'm going to get into this next one real quick here because, like I said, it's going to be kind of a shorter video today because it's been a long day. Pfizer CEO. Thank you, Abomination AJ. Great comment, man. Abomination AJ is a good dude. Go follow him. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla tests positive for COVID-19. I am grateful to have received 4 doses of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. These people are all robots, by the way. They're sheep and they're robots. Every person who was all shutting down the country, the communist bullshit of just shutting everything down, the tyrants, every time they're fully vaccinated and they get sick or get COVID, this is all they say. I am so grateful and thankful to have this. What are you talking about? Grateful for what? But it's the same. It's the NPC thing. If you know what an NPC is in a video game, it's just the background character saying the same shit, walking around like a zombie. So he had 4 doses of this vaccine. Pfizer chairman and CEO Albert Bourla, who received our COVID-19 vaccine shots, has tested positive for the illness. He's only had minor symptoms, but he's been vaccinated 4 times. I would like to inform the public that I have tested positive for COVID-19. I am grateful to have received 4 doses of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, and I'm feeling well while experiencing very mild symptoms. I have started a course of Paxlovid. Sorry. I'm isolating in place as well as following public health precautions. He's so full of shit. We have come so far in the past 2 years in our efforts to battle this disease, and I'm confident that I will have a speedy... They all say the same thing. Now, again, I never had a problem with people being getting the vax. I never had a problem people wanting to get the vax. Just don't push that shit on me. Let me make my own decisions for me and my family. I have had COVID twice, survived both times. Am I even allowed to say that word on YouTube? Whatever. I've had the coof twice. Never died. My kid had it. My wife had it. We survived. I'm not saying it's fun for everybody, and I know it's severe for some. So was the flu. But it's like stuff like this. He's fully vaccinated, has been boosted twice. So what are you boosted for then? The crazy part was he came out and said, I got to find this. I'm going to find this tweet that he wrote. He came out and said that something about, here, I'm going to look it up. Somebody actually texted this to me today. Here it is. Excited to share the updated, now this is Albert Bourla, who's the CEO of Pfizer. Excited to share the updated analysis. Our phase 3 study with BioNTech has shown that our COVID-19 vaccine was 100% effective in the preventing of COVID-19 cases in South Africa. That was in April of 2021. Here we are. Tested positive today. So it's so effective in Africa that nobody ever got COVID. Now here we are with him getting it with four shots, 2 boosters and 4 total shots. Something look a little off here? Today was a fucking weird day, man. We got all this stuff happen. Oh my God, this Lord of the Rings thing has still got me crazy. And then this story came out. There's so much stuff this weekend that was driving me crazy that I saw on social media. It's just a shit show out there. I want to know though, how many of you in the chat are even going to watch this show? You got House of Dragons, Game of Thrones prequel. You have the Lord of the Rings prequel. And is anybody even watching these shows? Prey just came out. I did a review, kind of a review on that in my last video. Another shit show. I mean, it was entertaining, but again, had to have the woke element. A lot of the storytelling was awful. Is anybody watching these shows? Are you going to sit there and watch 8 episodes of Lord of the Rings just to make content, though? I'll if you do it for the content and you're going to get monetized for it, smart. I love you. I don't know, man. I think we come to a point eventually where we're like, we got to sit back and look at ourselves and go, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What is the point of all this? And it's just regurgitating the same shit over and over and over again. You know, I was last night watching at night with my wife before I went to bed, Married with Children. Now, for those who don't know what Married with Children was, it was a great show that came out in the late 80s into the 90s. Would never be made today. The jokes, the misogyny, the sexism. It was a great show. Never be made today. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself last night, like, it's a shame. Because you wonder if they did make a show like this, what would happen today with today's social media climate and how everybody's online, everybody's got an opinion, everybody thinks they're important because they're online. I wonder how it would go. But again, like, at what point is enough? I'm just getting to the point where I don't want to watch anything anymore. I don't know. Somebody told me I should watch that movie, The Gray Man, on HBO. Oh, Abomination AJ gave me a great referral to watch it's a vampire movie, I think, with Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. It's on Netflix. I forgot what the name of it is, but he told me to watch that. And I'll take his recommendations. I will take recommendations for people I respect. If I don't like it, I'd say it, but it looks like a fun movie. My friend told me to watch The Gray Man. Not a lot of no woke stuff, just a fun, dumb action movie. I'm okay with that. Stop putting agendas into stuff. Day Shift. Thank you, Abomination AJ. Day Shift is the movie. I want to see that. I thought it looked pretty interesting when I saw the trailer. Hey, you know what though? Abomination AJ, I don't see myself in the movie. I don't know if I can watch it. I don't identify with the characters. Are you kidding me? The movie looks fun. I'm not a vampire killer who's an African American man. I'm still going to love the movie probably. You don't have to see yourself in everything to gain something from it. I'm sorry. Think of a movie that you've loved or a TV show you loved. You had no identifying factors with as far as the people being just like you in the same circumstances as you, and you still loved it so much that it's one of your favorite things you watch and inspired you. There's a lot of that stuff. Day Shift. Okay, thank you for that recommendation, Abomination AJ. Abomination AJ. Day Shift. Gray Man, Day Shift. I got a lot of stuff to catch up. I still got to watch Reacher. This is too much. I like this. Start identifying as a badass. Now you see yourself. That's me and you, buddy. You're the badass here, man. I'm just following your lead, you know? That's a good point, though. You know what? He makes a good point. I know he's joking, but he actually makes a great point here. See yourself as a badass. Now you see yourself. Thank you, man. Yeah. He's right, though. I mean, it's just, I'm just, oh my God, it drives me crazy. Enough. These people are just crazy, man. Like, I just don't understand their logic of thinking. Are they that shallow? That unhappy? Now, we've all been unhappy. We've all been depressed. There's been times where you want to see the world burn, just being like everything just crumbles upon you. Then you lift yourself back up somehow. You push the pieces away, the shit, the debris, and you move along. These people want to destroy everything because they're unhappy human beings, if they are even human. I don't even know what the hell's going on. Nobody knows what a woman is anymore. The Boston hospitals telling young kids that was it Boston? I gotta look this up. Boston Hospital. I'm gonna end with this. Boston Hospital telling kids that if you're 2 or 3 years old and you identify as, you know what, trans, it's okay. You should. Most kids at 2 or 3 know that they're. And the list that they gave of how to identify was ridiculous. If I can get my computer to work. There we go. I mean, some of the stuff I saw in here was ridiculous. If you like playing with the other sex's toys, if you're a boy, you play with girls' toys. If you're a girl, you play with boys' toys. I don't know what's going on with my internet here. Stuff like this. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? It's a 3-year-old. My daughter liked to play with Matchbox cars when she was 3. Does that mean she's a boy? What the hell are you talking about? You're right, Abomination AJ. Our heroes used to teach us to overcome and be great. You are 100% accurate. Adapt. My buddy Whiskey Banger, who's on my co-host, I love that saying. He has a saying. It's not his saying, but it's something that he used to say to me a lot. Adapt and overcome. Adapt and overcome. That's his motto in life. Guy was in the military. He saw some horrible shit. He's had some rough patches in the last few years. Like, it's life. Life is life. I try to teach this to my daughter. I got a lot of issues. We got a lot of personal stuff. I try to teach her. Do not use any mental illness, or I'm not saying like mental illness, like severe mental illness, but don't use any setback as a crutch, because nobody's going to feel bad for you. The world's not going to feel bad for you. You might have sympathy from people, but they're not going to stop their daily. Again, empathy, sympathy, two different things. Adapt and overcome. And Abomination AJ is right. Our heroes used to teach us this. No matter what happens to you, no matter how bad it is, you can still adapt and overcome. You can still do great things. You can do anything you want. Today, it's the exact opposite. Today, it's, you can't adapt and overcome. Just push everybody else that you don't like away. Throw everything away that you don't like and see yourself. Put yourself out front and center, and that's how you'll be happy. Identify as 18 different genders. You could be non-binary, they, them, she, her. I saw a lady the other day who thought she had a live duck talking to her in her brain, and we're like, seriously, and we're allowing this. We're accepting it and saying, it's okay. You're still a good person. You need mental fucking help is what you need. You need some Dr. Phil or something. I don't know. It's getting out of hand, and it's scary, because what's going to happen is in a decade or 2 decades from now, you're going to see the suicide rates skyrocket with young people. You're going to see so many people in therapy and being put on more drugs. Big pharma is going to make money. We know. All because this administration and all these other things, all these other groups and people are trying to push these agendas. I don't understand the agenda, the thing with the genders. Makes no effing sense to me. I know I've been cursing a lot. I don't know why I just edited that, but it makes no damn sense. I don't understand any of this anymore. The Boston hospital is telling kids that if you're I even think, oh my God, I got to try to find this. I can't right now because my internet's glitching out. That they were saying that in the womb, you even know. Like, what the hell are you talking about? 2 or 3-year-olds know. So if a doctor goes to a 3-year-old and goes, hey, do you like playing with boys' toys? You know, you're a girl, but do you really? Yeah, they're fun. Oh, you want to transition? You want to become a boy? And the kid's going to go, sure, why not? And then it goes on to this whole thing with the parents, and the parents are just as stupid these days. They fall in line with this crap. Oh, I just knew that Cindy was, because she liked to wear boys' clothes. And oh yeah, Cindy's 15 years old now and has a drug problem. You know why? Because you push this narrative that and I'm not saying it's not true for some people. That small 1%. Maybe it is true. And I feel bad for the gender dysmorphia, the true people who have this real issue. Telling Cindy or whoever, oh, you feel like a boy? You're a boy. You're 5 years old. Yeah, all right. We'll go down this line. We'll dress you up in boys' clothes, cut your hair, do hormone therapy. What the hell are you talking about? It's a sad world we're living in. You know what? I think in the near future, and I would love to do this once my work schedule kind of gets back in track where I'm home again, working from home. Abomination Age, I would love to have you on my show, man. You could talk about all this stuff. I know you go deeper, much deeper with the comic book stuff than I do. I would love to get your idea, your takes on some of this stuff. So, no big deal. Like I said, I got to get my schedule kind of aligned in the next few months, but maybe when I'm back, we'll talk. I would love to have you on, man. Even on a panel with a group of people talking about this stuff, man, and maybe show off some of your art. He's a good dude. Yeah, I just don't know where else to go with this. So anyway, we're almost at an hour. I wanted to keep this at an hour. I'm sorry if I just ranted on, but I just can't take it anymore. And you know what it is? You know how when you're tired from working all day or just doing stuff all day and you get a little irritable and that one thing just pushes you over the edge? Yeah, it's this Lord of the Rings thing and the Bryce Dallas Howard thing with the movie thing kind of drove me nuts. The Lord of the Ring thing really annoyed me, though. You do not tell fan bases to go F themselves because you don't like that they're having pushback. They're giving you pushback on a show that they love. It's this toxic fandom bullshit. What is toxic fandom? I'm not saying it's the same with sports, too. Like, I'm not saying some fans aren't crazy. Sure, you want to have certain toxic fans, but to alienate an entire group of people right before your show comes out, or are you doing it to get attention so people watch the show? Yeah, see, Abomination Age is a good dude, man. A conversation is what we need. Just talk. And I'm sure we might not agree on everything, and that's fine, but I'm not going to call him out on him. I'm not going to put him down. I'm not going to. Okay, great. Because you know what guys do? Guys will be like, all right, cool, I don't agree. Let's go have a beer. Let's go do something. Cool, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. That's what we do. That's what we would do. Because that's what people do. Normal people have conversations. My own boss. We don't agree on everything. We have civil conversations, and there will be times where he portrays something to me in a manner where I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. And I do the same for him. Me and Whiskey Manger don't always agree on everything. But you see the difference. We can have civil conversations. The gun debate we had the other day was great. It's a great 2-hour video. Not everybody agreed. We don't know Tim's dumb, but it's okay. Nah, he's not dumb. He's just short. We had a 2-hour conversation. I didn't say much because they're, like I said, they're more of I'm kind of the newer kid in the gun industry. They're the experts, so-called. So they talked more, but it was still fun. I had a blast doing that. Now for Friday on the Whiskey and Cannoli podcast number 7, we're going to probably talk a little bit about this again because it's not going away, and I'm sure. Here's the thing I love about what's going on in the world, though, is that it gives you content every day. There's always something to talk about. I like talking about a lot of different things on this podcast. I don't know if that's a good thing for growth. I know YouTube likes you to stay in one lane. It's a podcast. I mean, podcasts are really about everything. This is my personal streams are more about what I'm feeling when I'm kind of focused in on that day. The Friday show is just really just about whatever. So, but I appreciate everybody who did listen. Abomination AJ, thanks, man. And thanks for everybody who followed in today. Tim, as usual. Whoever else listened. Again, Abomination AJ, follow him on Twitter at Abomination AJ, and then on YouTube, follow his channel. Click, get him some subscribers. He's awesome. He's got awesome content. Yeah, he's good. So follow him. I think that's pretty much it for me for the night. I really don't know what else to say. Yeah. Anyway, again, happy Monday. I hope you all have a great week. I will see you Friday for the Whiskey and Cannolis podcast. I was going to do another video sometime midweek, but I probably won't have time because my work schedules are, like I said, a little nuts. I just moved to a new office, but appreciate everybody who listened. I love you all. Thank you again. Have a great Monday night, and I will see you Friday at 7:05 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.